Hello and welcome back to the Birdcage. I'm Jack Kenna, and today we will be previewing Creighton's final non-conference game against Alabama. If you have tuned into these before, you will be able to tell that there is a different setup, and that is because I'm not in the traditional setup. The Creighton Bluejays are coming off a week where they went 2-0, defeating the number 1 Kansas Jayhawks and UNLV at home 83-65. They're also coming off the news that guard Pop Isaacs, one of Creighton's better players to start the year and leading scorers, will be out for the rest of the year after undergoing hip surgery this past week. Now, what does this game mean for Creighton? Creighton is traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on the number 7 Alabama Crimson Tide and the preseason number 2 team in the country. This is a team with a lot of talent and will surely be able to put the ball in the basket, something that they have been able to do quite well all season. The team averages just under 90 points per game and shoots an extremely efficient 47.3% from the field and 33% from three. How does Creighton beat Alabama? It's simple. Force them to shoot contested shots. Hard contested shots, something that Creighton did extremely well on Wednesday when they played Kansas. I am interested to see how they're going to be able to do guarding Alabama. Alabama's tall, lengthy, and athletic. Alabama forces teams to shoot perimeter shots, and teams have only shot 28% against them. That is extremely good if you're Alabama, forcing teams to shoot tough three-pointers. However, in recent games, the Creighton Bluejays have looked better shooting the basketball. Against Kansas, they came out and dominated out of the gate shooting the ball, making an extremely efficient 12 of 29, shooting a game-high 41% from three. Against UNLV, they also showed that they could shoot the ball a little bit. The team shot 50% from three. Mason Miller made a few. Stephen Ashworth made 3. Isaac Trout had a great game, knocking down 5 of them. These are all going to be players that are going to have to play big roles tomorrow night. Alabama comes into the game 7-2, ranked number 7 in the country. Their only losses this year coming at Purdue and then falling to Oregon in the Players Era Festival. So this is a team that is extremely dangerous offensively. They just beat number 20 North Carolina on the 4th, the same day Creighton beat Kansas, and they've had a long break since. Will the break help Alabama, or is it going to hurt them because they haven't had live game action in a long time? That is what we're going to have to look out for. I don't know how that's going to play out. I thought Creighton's break was long, and it was only a week compared to Alabama, who's had more than a week, has had 10 days to prepare for this one. So really, Creighton should come out with a little more sharpness. However, we've known Creighton in the past, and in crazy environments, they can get down, and they can get down early. I'm hoping that's not the case. Now, with Pop Isaacs out, what can we expect from this Creighton team? I know we got to see a little bit of that on Saturday when they played UNLV a week ago. But really, what are we going to expect for a team that's lacking another ball handler? Jemiah Neal's going to have to play a lot of those guard roles, those guard positions. We still don't have any news on Fedor Zusic. Cray Takes made a comment saying it was going to be December 4th. It is the 13th, going to be the 14th when we play Bama, and we have not heard anything about it. Against UNLV, he did not play. He was not there. We really have no news on Fedor Zusic, and that's a little intimidating. That's a little scary. If you're the NCAA, what are you doing? It's been a long time. I'm glad that Creighton came back. They're on a little 3-game win streak of their own after losing 3 straight. I'm just nervous because I don't know who's really going to score tomorrow. Kalkbrenner should be fine. Ashworth should be fine. But we need to have a great defensive game or this could go south fast. Now, this is the last game before Big East play kicks off. So Creighton really will have to be locked in, ready to go from the jump. Because Alabama is good enough to beat you. And beat you early and fast down the court. When you take a look at who on Bama can score, it's their entire team. Honestly, it is. They put up 90 points as a team. If you want to look at their most lethal options, maybe, you have first-team preseason All-American Mark Sears at the guard. He's their dude. He is their guy. After that, you got Grant Nelson, a guy I really wanted to see in a Creighton jersey. He chose Alabama from North Dakota State. He can play basketball. He's athletic. He's a freak athlete. And he's been shown he can shoot the ball a little bit this year. Alabama does have an injured player. I'm pretty sure. I want to get this right. I know one of Alabama's key players is out and will not play the rest of the season with an injury. I want to make sure I get his name right. Yep, it is Latrell Wrightsell. That's who I thought it was, but he will not be playing. He is out with a season-ending, I think, ACL injury. All I know is he will not be playing for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm very positive that's him. It's one of their key players. So if that's the case, Creighton will be a little lucky. However, this really is going to be another shootout. And I don't know if this Creighton team can win shootouts. We haven't seen it yet. We have not seen a shootout win yet. I do think Creighton can force this Alabama team to take tough shots. We forced a Kansas team to take tough shots. A Kansas team that I think has more offensive weapons, dare I say it, than Alabama. Kansas's weapons haven't played very good so far this year. But an A.J. Storr, Zeke Mayo, or Rylan Griffin, can they compare to the likes of LeBaron Philon, Mark Sears, Grant Nelson, Aiden Holloway? We don't know, and we're going to have to see. Cliff Amore is Alabama's big, and he's an athletic monster. He transfers over from Rutgers, I'm pretty sure. Yep. And it's going to be a matchup between Cliff and Kalkbrenner. And Kalkbrenner's other big matchup so far this year, he outplayed Dickinson. But will he be able to do that against Cliff on the road? We're going to have to wait and see. This Alabama team is really, really good. However, I still think this Creighton team is really good. How does Creighton beat Alabama? We have to have them shoot tough shots. We also need to keep Alabama out of transition. They are fast and they shoot at will. If Creighton is going to have to get back, knock down some shots, and force Alabama to shoot some tough threes. We shall see what the starting lineup is tomorrow. Isaac Trout and Jason Green had really, really good games, which is something that you are really happy to see. But I just don't know who's going to get the nod. My guess is you're still going to have Ashworth, Neal, Kalkbrenner, the three who have kind of been there. And without Pop Isaacs, I'm thinking you have McAndrew and Trout. That's kind of what I would go. It's big. That's the thing. It's big. I don't know if Ty Davis is ready to stick in and play a big role as a freshman, especially in this ruckus, crazy environment. I think Jason Green can do a lot of things. I think Mason Miller can do some stuff tomorrow. But that's really going to have to depend on the situation. I think so far this season, Isaac Trout has been the best of Green, Miller, Trout. And I think Jackson McAndrews can provide a lot of shooting, and his defense has actually surprised me so far this year. I think that's going to be the lineup. I hope that's the lineup. I could see a world where Jason Green or Miller starts over Trout, but I think McAndrews is safe in that starting lineup. It's going to be a fun game because it's Alabama. Creighton is 3-0 all-time. In all-time meetings against Alabama, we beat them in 2012 in the tournament, and then we beat them in 2016 in the NIT. And then just last year, Creighton beat Alabama at home after a Mark Sears heave did not fall. So it's going to be a good game. Also, the news that Larry Johnson and Sterling Knox are no longer with the team. This comes after news that Larry Johnson was not going to be a part of the Creighton Bluejays team, kind of in the Players Era Festival. Just a lot of stuff kind of off the court attitude-wise that I don't know if we'll ever know, but just some stuff kind of there. Pop Isaacs had a successful hip surgery. I wish that we had him, because I think with Pop Isaacs, with a Creighton team that's kind of been battling injuries this year, I think if we had a healthy team, a full team, I know we're missing Fedor Zusic. Really, we don't know if he will get cleared this year. Pop, Fedor, Ashworth, Kalkbrenner, Neal, McAndrew, Trout, that team, a full team, could do damage. With the injuries we've faced, with the uncertainties, with eligibility, we will never really truly know what this Creighton team could actually do. I still think the ceiling for this Creighton team could be second weekend, but we're going to have the pieces fall the right way, and we're going to have a lot of people step up if that's going to be the case. I do not think the Creighton Bluejays win tomorrow, just because you're traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on an Alabama team that's really damn good. Just to put it straight, that's how it is. Alabama is really, really talented. They're really good. They're fast. They can score at will. I think their interior defense has gotten better with the addition of Cliff. I think they're a well-coached team. I think their environment will be really loud and bumping. I am intrigued to see what Creighton is able to do against Alabama, but I'm not expecting a win. If Creighton gets a win, I will be thrilled, as I am usually with every Creighton win. But if they lose, this isn't a game you can beat yourself up on, because this team was preseason number 2 in the country for a reason. They're really good, and Mark Sears has struggled, really, to start the year. So hopefully we can keep Mark Sears under control. Hopefully we can keep Grant Nelson under control. Hopefully we can force Alabama to shoot tough shots and limit their dudes from making a whole lot of plays. At the end of the day, that's all you can do when you travel down to Alabama. They're a good basketball team, a well-coached basketball team. And I think tomorrow night there will be a great game. The game is going to be on the SEC network, or probably ESPN, I'm assuming. I think the game is at 7:30 at night. So it's going to be a night game for all of you guys watching college basketball throughout the day. That's going to be a good game to watch. Definitely a game that a lot of people will be tuned in on, as whenever you get two offenses like Alabama and Creighton, a lot of people will tune in. I'm really excited for it. My prediction for the game, Alabama 94, Creighton 87. Bama 94, Creighton 87 is my final prediction. I will see you guys for a recap.